I got it. I got it working now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the technical difficulties there at the beginning of the game. And you're tuning in, Mount St. Mary with a 4-0 lead. 5 hits through the first 6 hitters. And it includes a 2-run home run from Caleb Morgan to left field. And there's just 1 out. Gregory Harrison bats now as the 7th hitter of the game already for Mount St. Mary. A squad at 10-22 coming into today, playing in a non-conference game against Union. First pitch strike now from Ryan Calvario, the starter for Union, making his 5th start of the season. But Mount St. Mary had been jumping on a lot of first pitches from Calvario, so seeing the ball out of his hand very well here as the sun is setting down the right field line to start the game. That was Caleb Morgan's 8th home run of the season. And he got all of it. The left fielder, Will Kelly, for Union today, did not move much. Gave it a little courtesy jog, but that one was destined for the woods out there past left field once it left the bat of Morgan. 1-1 the count. Hit in the air to right field. Tracking back on it is Martinez, and that one is gone. Another 2-run home run, the second 2-run homer of the game for Mount St. Mary. It's a 2-run homer for Gregory Harrison. Not an ideal start for Union, not one bit. So there's been 6 hits, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 2 singles. 6 runs on 6 hits through the first 7 hitters. Richard Lamping's turn now, the catcher for Mount St. Mary today. He takes the first pitch ball. Lamping batting .250 on the season, 28 games played, started them all. 1 homer, 6 doubles on 17 hits, reaching base at a .411 percentage. Fouls that one back. 1-1 the count to Lamping. Fouls it straight back. Not the usual lineup for the Garnet Chargers today. Ryan Calvario, as we mentioned, making his 5th start. Caleb Miller is in there, but he's moved back up to the leadoff spot, and he's playing center field today. Will Kelly in left. Dylan Swartz at shortstop. That's normal. Cooper Ames batting 4th. Also normal, but he's doing the catching today. Andrew Keaveney is at first. Haven't seen him at first too much since the beginning of the year. He's been DHing a lot and playing right field. He's at first today. Ryan Kolajaychuk in there as a DH. Seamus Condon, the third baseman. Josiah Martinez getting some action out in right field as the count goes full 3-2. And Benjamin Raphael playing second base for Union. And Calvario loses Lamping there on a full count. The 9th hitter of the game so far for Mount St. Mary is Anthony Voss, the shortstop. And barring a double play, Mount St. Mary will bat around here in the first inning as they've scored 6 runs on 6 hits. Chris Parisa, the second baseman and the second hitter today for Mount St. Mary, the only hitter not to reach base, grounded out to second. This one lined to center field, right at the center fielder, Caleb Miller, for the second out of the inning. Now, apologies to the Justin Stella fans. We missed his leadoff single and subsequently scoring on a Aiden Marshall, or actually on a Noah Anderson single. But you get to see him here in the first inning, batting for the second time against Calvario. And despite the 6 hits and 6 runs, Calvario only at 23 pitches. Not an incredibly high pitch count. Definitely not a low pitch count, but this one scalded up the middle again. Justin Stella now 2 for 2 with 2 singles in the inning. And with that, John Muller is going to make a walk out to the mound and make a pitching change. So Calvario, he pitched strikes. He only walked 1 hitter through 23 pitches in the game, and he's knocked out after giving up 6 runs on 7 hits, and the 2 runners on base are his responsibility. We'll let the new Union arm warm up, and we'll be back for the resumption at the top of the first inning here in Schenectady. Evan Burns, the new arm for Union. Pitching change here in the top of the first as Mount St. Mary leads 6-0. Burns making his 8th appearance of the season for Union. He starts Christian Parisa out with the ball low. Parisa was one of 2 in the starting lineup for Mount St. Mary not to get a hit so far. Him and Anthony Voss, or at least not to reach base. Richard Lamping walked. The 1-0 misses high. And I would say you just got to come in and pitch strikes, but that's what Ryan Calvario did, and this Mount St. Mary team jumped all over him. 6 runs on 24 pitches. 2 doubles, 2 singles, 2 homers. Two and 0 from Burns. 3-0. Two outs. Lamping leading off second, and he's going to advance to third. Bases will be loaded here for Noah Anderson. Burns comes in and a 4-pitch walk to his first batter. Noah Anderson digging in. He singled and scored. Also drove in a run. Five straight balls here from Burns. He has started both batters he's faced so far out with a first pitch curveball high in the zone that just doesn't fall and break enough to hit the top of the zone, per the opinion of the home plate umpire. Six innings pitched for Burns coming into today. He's given up 8 hits with a 7.11 ERA. 263 average for Noah Anderson on the season. 24 runs, no homers, 16 RBI. Count 3-0. Garrick Godin headed down to the bullpen now to warm up for Union. Pickoff throw at first. Not in time. Andrew Keaveney held the tag down and then showed the ball to the umpire. He felt he may have gotten Parisa out at first, but bases remain loaded with 2 down. Anderson at the plate. And another 4-pitch walk. Here's Aiden Marshall, the left fielder who hit an RBI double and scored on the Caleb Morgan home run. I do sincerely apologize about the technical difficulties as this ball is check swing in play. Keaveney taking it himself, and that will end the inning. The final tally, 7 runs on 7 hits for Mount St. Mary, 3 left on base. Well, Union's got some work to do after the top of the first here. We'll be back for Union's turn at bat here coming up in Schenectady. Caleb Miller will lead off for Union. Miller batting .355 in 33 games. He will have the task of leading off against Daniel Alexander. Alexander making his 4th start of the year, 7th appearance overall, 13 1/3 innings with a 10.13 ERA. First pitch to Miller, swung on and popped up. Fouled away, just out of play. 0-1 count here to Miller. Miller swings through a high one, 0-2. Miller, 1 RBI away from becoming the program leader in RBIs. He's tied with Colin Kelly, who graduated in 2021 for the program lead at the moment at 120. Hit on the ground and a base hit for Miller to start the day for the Garnet Chargers. Now 4 hits away is Miller from the program record in hits as well. So a lot going on here at the end of the season for Caleb Miller, but of course the biggest task at hand for him is leading this team to a Liberty League championship. Their first task will be getting past St. Lawrence in the crossover series beginning Friday. That crossover series will begin Friday at 4 p.m. here at Buck Ewing A Diamond in Central Park in Schenectady, New York. And then 2 games, if necessary, on Saturday beginning at noon. Miller breaks on the pitch, and he's going to have that one stolen easily as the ball gets away from Richard Lamping. It's a stolen base here for Caleb Miller. Miller takes his 16th stolen base of the year. Will Kelly, the batter, gets ahead 2-1. Kelly playing in his 17th game. He's making his 10th start as well. Batting .265, 10 walks, a double and a triple. Spits on another one, 3-1. For Alexander on the mound, 11 walks on the season in 13 innings, just 3 strikeouts. Checks on Miller at second base. 3-1 is low, and Union now in business to lead off their half of the home first. Dylan Swartz now batting with a runner in scoring position. .358, 34th game played for Swartz. He's got 5 home runs, which lead the team, also 15 doubles, which leads the team as well. He swings on the first pitch. Tracking back on it is Stella. Stella's not going to get there. Swartz going to get to second. Miller coming in to score. The runners had to hold up as Union gets their first run of the game. That could have been a triple for Dylan Swartz, but as a sports information director who is tracking program records, maybe a good thing for Swartz that he's only on second base there, as he has his 16th double and is 3 doubles away now from the program record in single season doubles hit. I updated the record book this afternoon in the office, so I'm well aware of all the things that these Union hitters have to do in order to etch their names atop the program record book. First pitch swinging again. Ames laces that one into the gap, and it splits Marshall and Stella. So 2 runs are actually going to score on the double from Cooper Ames. 7-3 the score here. There's no outs in the bottom of the first. It's a 2 RBI double for Cooper Ames. First pitch to Keaveney is outside. So Union, 3 runs on 3 hits. They are surprisingly performing better than Mount St. Mary was through their first 4 hitters. Mount St. Mary had only 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 out, as Union had 3 hits, no outs, and 3 runs in. But Keaveney's going to ground out to third base. It does get the job done and move Cooper Ames over to third. So there's 1 out and a runner on third base for Ryan Kolajaychuk now. Kolajaychuk offers at the first pitch. Anderson has a beat on it in right field. Tagging is Ames. They're going to send Ames. The throw from Anderson is not in time. Well, the throw kind of did beat him, but Lamping unable to apply the tag cleanly on the throw from Anderson, and Union now only down by 3 with 2 outs here. Ames scores on the Kolajaychuk sacrifice fly to right field. And Seamus Condon now digging in for his first at-bat. Condon, a 194 hitter here in his first season in Schenectady. Does have 1 homer and 2 doubles, playing in his 15th game and also making his 12th start. Seems to be some pitch communication errors, technical difficulties. No one's immune to it, as we found out here at the beginning of our broadcast. But Lamping is putting on a new pitch calling device to communicate with Alexander. So Union puts a 4 spot up so far in the first inning, not quite matching Mount St. Mary's 7 runs on 7 hits, which included 2 home runs. First pitch to Condon is in there for a strike. Kolajaychuk and Ames and Swartz swinging at the first pitch. That ball's in the dirt, 1-1. So similar to Calvario's outing in the first, where he only threw 24 pitches, Alexander's only thrown 15, and he's given up 4 runs. 13 pitches, 8 of them for strikes. There's ball 2 now on Condon. Condon has drawn 4 walks and has been hit by 3 pitches. Swings, rolled over, fielded by Morgan, who steps on the bag, and Union is retired. 4 runs, you're usually going to be pretty happy with that, but Union still trails by 3. 7-4 after 1 here in Schenectady. Garrick Godin is the third Union pitcher here, pitching to start the top of the second. He's facing Caleb Morgan, who hit his 8th home run of the year in the first inning. A 2-run shot, scoring Aiden Marshall and putting Mount St. Mary up 4-0. Mount St. Mary would go on to score 3 more runs and build their 7-0 lead, but Union cuts into it with a 4 spot in the bottom of the first. Morgan serves this into center field, and it's tracked down. It's the second put out of the day for Miller out in center field. As we have several Garnet Chargers playing in secondary positions. Except Cooper Ames, at least until recently on the roster, listed as a catcher, despite playing mostly first base this year. 1-0 to Volk, served into right field, and that's going to be down, foul. Josiah Martinez slid to a knee while attempting to make the play, couldn't come up with it up against the wall on the warning track, and was just foul. Garrick Godin pitching in his 13th game. He's made 1 start, a 7.32 ERA. Pitch misses 2-1. Godin has struck out 15 batters on the season. In 19 2/3 innings pitched. This ball is hit into right field. Martinez back on it, and that one's gone. Stephen Volk with a home run to right field. Volk hits his first home run of the season. We mentioned the Knights. Caleb Morgan hit his 8th home run. That was the 11th home run of the season for Mount St. Mary. He was one of 4 Knights entering the game with Daniel Mack, Aiden Marshall, and Richard Lamping, who had gone deep this year for the Knights. So doing most of the home run power, Mount St. Mary, was Morgan. And so now joining those other 4 Knights is Stephen Volk with his first home run of the season. Gregory Harrison ahead 2-0. Pitch swung on. Couldn't hold up was Harrison. Pitch high in the zone. If you remember the Bard and Union first game of the doubleheader last Saturday, so before the Skidmore series, the teams both scored in almost every inning except for the second. For the first 6 innings, both teams scored in every half inning except for the second, where they both put up zeros. Looking like we may have a similar type game here between Union and Bard, as the score is 8-4 with 1 out here in the top of the second. Fouled away. Godin evens the count, 2-2. Gregory Harrison leading the team in batting average at .325 entering today. Hits this one down the left field line, and it'll be down. Fielded by Kelly in time enough to hold Harrison at first with a long single. 1 on, 1 out here for Richard Lamping, batting for the second time. As Lamping cuts on the first offering from Godin. Quickly down 0-2 is Lamping. Godin with a couple of good offerings here to get ahead on the 8-hole hitter and catcher for Mount St. Mary, 0-2. Fouled back. The 0-2 outside the zone. Garrick Godin from Glendale, Rhode Island, went to high school at Mount St. Charles. I've got to find out how far away Mount St. Charles is from Mount St. Mary and which mountain is taller. Which one has a higher peak? This one is hit on the ground, fielded unsuccessfully by Raphael. Going to second and being thrown out there is Harrison. So that's going to be your classic 1-4-6-5 after the single. So it's a single for Lamping. Harrison advances and then is thrown out 1-4-6-5 at third base. It's the third hit of the inning, though, for Mount St. Mary. Bree, do you think you can find out which mountain's higher, Mount Charles or Mount St. Mary? You just find out which elevation is higher. We got our stats and research team here. First pitch to Voss is fouled away. Brianne Brinker is our assistant athletic director for facilities here at Union College. Spent most of the baseball games here with me here at Buck Ewing A Diamond, and she's Mount St. Mary is significantly higher than Mount Charles, is what Bree has found for us. We'll get you an official tally here in a moment. But the task at hand right now is Garrick Godin pitching with a 2-1 count and 2 outs on Anthony Voss. Ball fouled back. Count goes full, 3-2. We're going to use this inning break to get an official count on the Heights as the Mount St. Charles product, Garrick Godin, pitches against Mount St. Mary's here in the top of the second. 1 run home here on the Stephen Volk home run. Runner goes. Ball's popped up. Josiah Martinez has a beat on it and retires the side, but not before Mount St. Mary gets a run across and is back up by 4 runs. Josiah Martinez, after retiring Anthony Voss in the top of the second, is set to lead off the bottom of the second for Union. And it's looking like both Mount St. Mary and Mount St. Charles are more named after in a religious, spiritual sense rather than after real peaks and mountains that exist. As Martinez flies one into right field, Anderson coasts over to make the play in the right center field gap. Benjamin Raphael now set to hit. As Alexander's back on the mound to work the second. Raphael offers at the first pitch, and it's lined in the center field where Stella makes the play for a quick second out of the inning. Turns the lineup over to Caleb Miller. Miller singled, stole a bag, and later scored on a Dylan Swartz double.
Those were found last game, so they're still there.
I was going to get you the stats on Raphael, who's batting 192 with 1 sacrifice fly and 3 sacrifice hits. This one is turned on by Miller, but foul. We mentioned Miller chasing some significant program records, 4 home runs among one of them. 4 home runs away from the program record in career dingers. He homered 7 times as a sophomore when he was the Liberty League Player of the Year. He also homered 7 times last year. This year, he's gone deep 4 times. And the 1-1 pitch hits Miller, so he will be aboard. Miller has not hit a home run since the beginning of the month of April in a doubleheader against RPI. Also homered against Cobleskill, Vassar, and SUNY Purchase. Remember that grand slam he hit against SUNY Purchase. The grand slam put Union ahead in a historic comeback victory where Union scored like 11 runs in the 7th or 8th inning to come back and beat Purchase on their home field, but it was a home game for Union that day. That was a long time ago. That was back in March 14th. I was watching that game from Hobie Baker Rink on the campus of Princeton University. Here goes Miller again. He's taken off for second, and he's in there for his second stolen base. Pitch will be a strike to Kelly, but Miller takes second. Check multiple stolen bases for Miller this season. He's stolen a bag in 6 straight games. There's another strike to Kelly. He hasn't had multiple stolen bases since down in Florida against Colby. He also stole 2 against Purchase. This season. And interesting, he just became a base stealing threat as he was running on that pitch as well, trying to steal third. He didn't steal a base during his Liberty League Player of the Year performance in 2024, which is interesting, especially considering he's stolen 19 this year and he stole over 20 last year. So stolen bases have become a new part of Caleb Miller's game. Alexander checks on him at second base. Probably has an eternal green light here as a senior, which was not the case as he was a sophomore or first year. 0-2 pitch to Kelly, misses wide of the zone. as Alexander has thrown 27 pitches here, with 2 down in the bottom of the second. Mount St. Mary has scored in both of their turns at bat. Union hoping to do the same thing as they have to overcome an 8-4 deficit. Swung on and going to go foul just past the dugout on the Mount St. Mary's first base side. In Catholic naming tradition, Mount is often used symbolically as in place of learning or spiritual elevation, which may be where Mount St. Charles and Mount St. Mary's get their name. Named after saints, but then Mount as an elevated space. And I do have to disclose that is an AI answer, so I have absolutely no clue if it's true or not. But AI typically has been serving me right. 1-2 pitch coming to Kelly. Hit on the ground. Voss fields, throws on the run, and gets the out at first to retire the side. Union, 1 left on base as they go down here in the bottom of the second. Justin Stella will have his 3rd at-bat of the game here in the 3rd inning. He singled twice in the first and then was left in the on-deck circle in the second. He will be facing his just the second different pitcher. He was the last at-bat for Calvario in the first before Burns came in, faced the final 3 batters, and then got the last out. So Godin working his 2nd inning here. He worked a full second, top of the second, but he did give up 3 hits, including a home run to Stephen Volk. 2-1 the count here. Or just 1-1. Scoreboard operator was right on top of that. That ball was spiked in the dirt, and by the time it crossed home plate, scoreboard already had 1-1 up there. Cut on and missed by Stella, down 1-2. There has not been a strikeout in this game so far. This is the 19th plate appearance for Mount St. Mary. Union has had 11 plate appearances. No strikeouts on either side. There's the first one, cut on and missed on by Stella. And he's the first out of the inning, bringing up Christian Parisa. Parisa one of 2 Mount St. Mary hitters without a hit. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. Anthony Voss is 0 for 2 with a line out to center and a fly out to right. He's going to try to change that and bunt, but it goes foul. The 0-1 fouled away again. So Godin, after settling in the second inning of work here for him, has looked good in his second time up. Needs to make sure he gets these outs here and not put anybody on base, as the big swingers are coming up here in a little bit for the Knights. Third pitch fouled off by Parisa. Anderson on deck is 1 for 1 with a single. Aiden Marshall coming up is 1 for 2 with an RBI double. And then Morgan and Volk have both hit homers coming up later in the lineup for the Knights. Volk is 2 for 2 with a double and a homer. The 0-2, high and inside, first ball. Hit into center field. Miller lightly jogs back into his right to make the second out of the inning. So Miller, playing in center field for, I believe, the first time this year, already has 3 putouts, 1 in each inning. Here's Noah Anderson batting with 2 outs against Garrick Godin from Rhode Island. First pitch to Anderson, a ball. Noah Anderson from nearby Watervillette, New York. Capital Region. Watervillette. I'm new to the Capital Region. I moved from Washington, D.C. Schenectady, fairly easy one to say. Niskayuna. I want to say Niskayuna, based on how it's spelled, but the Watervillette native singles up the middle and extends the inning here. Brings up Aiden Marshall. It's the second hit of the day for Noah Anderson. Godin's been all around the strike zone here in this second inning. He has not walked a batter. This one turned on by Marshall, and that is the fourth home run of the game for Mount St. Mary. This is a team that came into today with 10 homers as a team through 32 games. They have 4 today. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters now for Mount St. Mary have all hit a home run. That was Aiden Marshall's second home run of the year. Swung on and fouled back. And that one hit Morgan. Last season, Mount St. Mary hit 10 home runs, which is what their total was coming into today. 4 players tied with 2 home runs last season. This one hit hard in the air to right field. Martinez back on the wall, doesn't make the play. It was a tough play for Martinez to make as his back hit the wall as he got there. It's going to be an RBI double for Volk, his second double of the game. Volk is 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a home run. (11-4) the score here. First pitch ball to Harrison. It was going well for Godin to begin the inning. Get the first 2 batters. Struck out Justin Stella and got Parisa to fly out to center field. Since then, 3 hits and a hit by pitch. This one hit hard again to right field. Martinez has a beat on it and puts it away for the 3rd out of the inning. But Mount St. Mary scores 3 more times. Union coming to bat, down 11-4. (11 runs on 13 hits for Mount St. Mary's. 4 runs on 3 hits for Union. Dylan Swartz will try to get Union going in the right direction here. He doubled in his first at bat and scored Caleb Miller. The first 4 batters of the game for Union all reached and all scored. A single by Caleb Miller, a walk by Kelly, and RBI doubles from Dylan Swartz and Cooper Ames. Ryan Kolajaychuk drove in the final run with a sacrifice fly to right. 2-0 the count here to Swartz. Swartz has walked 15 times this season to 17 strikeouts. He hits this one into the gap. Stella had a beat on it, though, and catches it for the first out of the inning. Swartz hit it hard, but Stella made a good play to track it down. Cooper Ames now also doubled in his first at bat. Watches the first pitch from Alexander in there for a strike. Union trailing 11-4 here in the bottom of the third inning. Mount St. Mary has scored in all 3 innings. Hit on the ground, foul by Ames. Daniel Alexander is a senior from Port Washington, New York, on Long Island. This is his longest outing since March 10th when he went 4 2/3 against Beloit. He also started the season with a 5 1/3 inning performance against Johnson and Wales of Charlotte. That was a good outing for him. 5 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run, no earned. Got the win in that game. Full count here to Ames. Ames serves it the other way. Lands in front of Marshall for a base hit. Second hit of the day for Ames. Andrew Keaveney digging in now. He grounded out to first base in his first trip to the plate. Swings at the first pitch off the glove of Morgan, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Hit it in the same spot as he did last at bat, but just a little harder this time. And back in business are the Garnet Chargers for Ryan Kolajaychuk. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Kolajaychuk has driven in 7 runs on the season entering today. Drove in his 8th with a sacrifice fly in the first. Kolajaychuk fouls it off. Kolajaychuk from Old Saybrook, Connecticut, Avon Old Farms High School. Same high school as Union men's hockey captain Nick Young. Pitches a ball. Checked on Keaveney over at first base. Nick Young now playing with the Idaho Steelheads of the ECHL. Checked on Ames at second base. Nick Young has 2 goals and 1 assist in 11 games played for Idaho. I believe his season is over as the ECHL is in the playoffs. Union Division I hockey for men's and women's here. Rest of the sports Division III. So Nick Young went to Avon Old Farms, but he was from Raleigh, North Carolina. So a little bit of travel for him to end up here in the north. Makes sense as a hockey player. Hit on the ground. It's going to get through. Getting the wave sign from third base coach Duke Beck is Ames. He is in to score, and Union with their 5th run of the game. Brings up Seamus Condon as Ames scores for the 2nd time today, and Kolajaychuk gets his 2nd RBI of the day. 4 straight singles now for Union. First pitch swinging from Condon, lifted into left field. Marshall puts it away for the 2nd out. So Union helping out Alexander here today. A lot of first pitch swinging. Keevan swung on the first pitch. Condon on the first pitch.
Line drive, Joe.
That's the 6th first pitch Union has swung at today. And there's the 7th. Well, I guess that's not even that's not just the 7th one that you probably maybe a few more than that. That was Union's 6th swing on the first pitch that resulted in a ball in play. So there may have been some that were fouled off as well. Union jumping all over Alexander and able to do a fair amount of damage. Off the helmet of Kolajaychuk, and that allows Keaveney to advance to third base. Kolajaychuk on a knee, shaken up a bit. As Kolajaychuk gets checked out by head athletic trainer Cheryl Rockwood, we'll take a quick break and be back with the resumption of play. All right, Kolajaychuk is okay, and now a 1-1 pitch to Martinez, and right back to the well is Lamping, and he cuts down Keaveney at third base to end the inning. Union runs into an out here to end the threat in the 3rd. Headed to the top of the 4th. Mount St. Mary ahead, 11-5. New pitcher for Union to begin the fourth inning is Ian McWhinney. McWhinney, no wins, no losses. This is his 9th appearance of the season. An 8.31 ERA and 8.2 innings pitched. 6 strikeouts on the year for McWhinney. First pitch he throws hits Lamping. And the leadoff hitter is aboard for only the second time today. Justin Stella led off the game with a single from Mary, but it's only struck out 3 times this season. But that is in 17 at-bats. Breaking ball out of the hand of McWhinney. Doesn't break. Stays high. 1-2 the count. Ball is popped up. Seamus Condon tracking it up against the fence in front of the Union dugout, out of play. Sun not fully set yet here in Schenectady. A few streaks of sunlight across the infield. Fairly illuminated down the right field line, but most of the field in shade now. 1-2 pitch in the dirt, nicely blocked by Cooper Ames. Union able to get Caleb Miller off his feet a little bit, not having to do the catching today as he caught both games of the doubleheader 2 days ago, but he's still manning center field and doing a good job at that with 3 putouts so far out there in center. Ames called into duty to do the catching today. Count's gone full on Voss. The 3-2. Cracked into left field for a base hit. Voss picks up a hit. It's the 14th of the game for Mount St. Mary. And now everyone but Chris Parisa has recorded a hit for the Knights, and Parisa still has reached base. He walked in the first. Leadoff hitter Justin Stella now. 2 for 3 with a pair of singles and a strikeout. Facing his 3rd different pitcher of the day. He squares to bunt, gets it down. Keaveney picks it up and throws to second. Benjamin Raphael's there to field it. And the first out of the inning is a sacrifice bunt. The runners do advance 90 feet, so 2 in scoring position now for Parisa, looking to become the 9th different Knight to record a hit here in the game. He takes the first pitch ball. Ryan Calvario started the game for Union, pitched 2/3 of an inning. Evan Burns came in and got the job done in the third and for the final out in the first. Garrick Godin pitched 2 innings, and then Ian McWhinney here, the 4th Garnet Charger arm to pitch here in the 4th. 3-0 the count here on Parisa. McWhinney gets one across for a strike. 3-1 the count. McWhinney, 8 walks and 8 2/3 innings pitched this season. He hit a batter to lead off the fourth, as there's one down here. Over the plate and fouled off. Similar spot as the last time we had a foul ball over in that direction as Condon does his due diligence, sniffs it out, but it goes foul. Works the count full, 3-2. Lamping leads off third, Anthony Voss on second base. They were both bunted to their current positions by Justin Stella. The 3-2 coming. Swung on, fouled off. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming up. It was 3 straight balls from McWhinney, and then he works his way back here with 3 straight strikes. 1 looking and then 2 foul balls. McWhinney loses the battle, though, and the bases are now loaded for Noah Anderson. Anderson, 2 for 2, 2 singles, 2 runs scored, also 2 RBIs. He was walked with the bases loaded in the first inning by Burns for his second RBI of the day. He bats in a similar position here, but with 1 out. Sees the first pitch, breaking ball, strike. On deck for Mount St. Mary is Aiden Marshall, who is 2 for 3 with a double and homer. Oh, and 2. Monday evening non-conference matchup here between Union College and Mount St. Mary. The Union punched their ticket to the crossover series coming up this weekend against St. Lawrence after taking 2 out of 3 from Skidmore. Skidmore was eliminated from contention after Bard took a game from RPI on Sunday. Mount St. Mary already with 4 home runs on the day. The Knights hit 2 of them in the first inning, Caleb Morgan and Gregory Harrison. They've homered in each inning so far. McWhinney trying to change that. Laid off on the 1-2. No offer, says the field umpire, and it is the first ball of the at-bat. Union fans, if you were tuned in for the Skidmore game this weekend, may be familiar with those check swings. I believe almost all of them, all but one check swing on Saturday was called a swing. Only one the field umpire said he held up. 1-2. Fouled off again. Anderson sent this one into right field. Martinez is there to put it away. Runners at second and third will tag, and a run will score. 4 straight innings with a run now. So Anderson drives in his 3rd RBI of the game. Drives in 3rd RBI is kind of repetitive. He He drives in his third run of the game. Earns his third RBI. Would be more grammatically correct. Nonetheless, it is Aiden Marshall digging in for the fourth time today. Double, a homer, and a ground out to first base to end the first inning. Marshall with two home runs on the season. After a first pitch ball, McWhinney is across with a strike. One strikeout in this game between the two sides. Garrick Godin got Justin Stella, the Knights leadoff hitter, to go down swinging to lead off the third inning. That's the only strikeout of the day. So we play here on the top of the fourth. McWhinney, one pitch away from getting out of the inning with limited damage. One pitch away from getting the second strikeout of the day for Union and his 9th of the season. Ball hit on the ground. Charging is Schwartz. He gloves it, fires to first, and not in time. Marshall beat it out. It's going to be an infield single. And an RBI for Marshall. Marshall gets his third hit of the day. Caleb Morgan, with 8 homers on the year, will bat with runners at the corners. Nope, bases are still loaded, excuse me. So a run didn't score there? No, a run did score there. And there are not runners at the corners. Just first and second here. I was fooled by Mount St. Mary's third base coach. Thought he was a base runner, and I got a little scared there that I statted something wrong. 13-5 is the score. There are 2 outs. Marshall on first, Parisa on second base. And the bases will be loaded again. As the second hit by pitch of the inning. Now the bases are loaded. Morgan's been hit by 2 pitches in his last 2 plate appearances. Head coach John Muller will make a walk out to the mound. We'll see if it's a pitching change. It is. He signals for the new arm for Union. It'll be a left-handed pitcher entering the game when we return here in Schenectady. 13-5 the score. First pitch from the new Union pitcher, Nolan Whalen, is hit sharply, but to Caleb Miller in center field, and one pitch gets Union out of the inning. Top four, Mount St. Mary scores 2 more runs. They lead 13-5. Daniel Alexander, the senior from Long Island, still out there for the Knights. His first pitch to Josiah Martinez is a ball. Martinez on the season scored a run. He's driven in 2 runs. He's been hit by 2 pitches. Also has a sacrifice fly. Still searching for his first hit of the season, however. 3 straight balls here to Martinez. And there's a strike. Whoa, that one was hit right back at me. Right where I was standing. Evens the count 3-2. I didn't flinch, though. And a walk to Josiah Martinez. Leads off the 4th inning for Union, trailing by 8. Whelan pitched 1 pitch in the 4th to get Union out of a bases-loaded jam. And now Martinez hitting against Alexander is the first leadoff hitter for the Garnet Chargers to reach base since Caleb Miller singled to lead off the game in the 1st. Benjamin Raphael as the new runner over there at first base is Ryan Moresi. So the changes have started. Raphael swings through that one. Moresi, the pinch runner, in the 8th spot and the bottom of the 4th for Martinez. So Martinez's first hit of the season is going to have to wait. Union is going to travel to Vermont in a couple of days to take on Vermont State Castleton. That will be the final non-conference game of the regular season for Union. They're going to play 3 conference games against St. Lawrence in the crossover series. It's not the playoffs. It's not the conference tournament. They count as conference games. They count as regular season conference games at that. Then, once Union, if they are able to advance past the third place team, St. Lawrence, out of the West Division, Then the playoff games will start counting as non-conference games following that in the actual postseason, which would be a 4-team double elimination tournament 2 weekends from now at the site of the high seed. Benjamin Raphael fighting here in his second at-bat of the day. Oh, you know what? Union batted out of order there in that inning. No, they didn't. What am I missing? Ryan? Seamus Condon was at bat when Andrew Keaveney. No, okay, never mind. Got my book all messed up here. The 0-2 coming up now to Raphael, swinging, and he will strike out. It's the first strikeout of the day for Alexander. Brings up Caleb Miller, who will bat now with a runner on first base. Miller, one more RBI, will give him the program record. He's tied for the program record with Colin Kelly. So he sees a first pitch strike, and Ryan Moresi steals second to get into scoring position for Caleb Miller. So we may be witnessing program record here now if Miller is able to get a hold of one and score Moresi from second base. The 0-1 upstairs. Upstairs, offered at by Miller, and he fouls it off. He's down 1-2. That was only the fourth strikeout of the year for Alexander. Looking for his second here against one of the best hitters in Union's baseball program history. Lifted in the air to left field. Marshall's there to put it away. Second out of the inning. Will Kelly now to bat. 0 for 1. A walk in the first. Scored on the Cooper Ames double. Tenth. This is his fourth start. That ball is lifted in the air. Stella underneath it, puts it away. Union goes down without a run in the fourth. 13-5 the score, headed to the fifth inning. Gregory Harrison will bat against Whelan. Whelan entered the game with 2 outs in the 4th. Got Volk to fly out to center field. This is the first time Volk had been retired today. Had 2 doubles and a home run. Wind up from Whelan. 3 straight balls. And Whelan loses him on 4 straight pitches. Brings up Richard Lamping. Lamping, a single today, 1-for-1. He's walked and was hit by a pitch to lead off the 4th. So the 3rd inning now that Mount St. Mary's had a runner on to begin the frame. But regardless, Mount St. Mary has scored in every inning. 7 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. For Union, it's 4 runs in the 1st. Got their 5th run of the game in the 3rd inning. Coming home on a Ryan Kolajaychuk single. Kolajaychuk 1-for-1 with 2 RBIs. Lamping skies this one. Schwartz underneath it makes the play for the first out of the inning. Anthony Voss 1-for-3. Scored a run in the 4th after getting a hit. It was the 18th hit of the year for Voss, batting .294, making his 5th start of the year, playing in his 14th game. Whelan, the lefty, locking eyes with Harrison at first base before delivering a first pitch strike. We'll see if Alexander comes out of the dugout to pitch the 5th. He pitched into the 6th inning in his first outing of the season. There's a ball to Voss, who was squaring to bunt. Three and 1 the count. Whelan graduate from St. Mark's School. 4-year varsity baseball player. He earned St. Mark's first playoff win in program history and helped the team to a small school ISL tournament title as a junior. Standing at 6'6" from Massachusetts as the economics major. Full count here, Whelan to Voss. Just missed low. And lineup turns over for the 5th at-bat of the game now for Justin Stella. Stella is 2-for-4. Struck out against Godin in the 3rd. He's actually 2-for-3 because his last plate appearance was a sacrifice bunt. So the 5th plate appearance here for Stella, excuse me, begins with a strike. Wyland steps off. Stella .31 hits in his career. He is a career .234 hitter, with his batting average increasing every season since his first season. In 2023, as a first year, he was just 1 for 11, but scored 5 runs, walked 4 times, and was hit by 2 pitches as a first year. For the 3rd out. So, no runs for the first time today for the Knights. Whalen, despite 2 walks, shuts down the Knights. Union coming up to bat, down 13-5. Alexander back out to pitch the 5th inning here. He'll face Dylan Swartz for the 3rd time. Entering this year, as Alexander pitches a 2nd straight ball, Alexander had not pitched more than 3 innings through his first 3 seasons with Mount St. Mary. His first 2 outings went longer than 5 innings. Since then, hasn't pitched more than an inning and a couple outs. So this is his longest outing in over 2 months. Something he hadn't done much since joining this Knights team. He's behind on Swartz, 3-0. Swartz draws a 4-pitch walk. Leadoff hitter aboard again for the Garnet Chargers. Cooper Ames, 2 for 2. He swings at the first pitch, I believe, for the 3rd straight at bat. And he pops this one up into shallow center field. It's caught by the second baseman. Parisa for the first out of the inning. Andrew Keaveney digging in for the third time. Reached on an infield single in the third, but was picked off at third base by Lamping to end the third inning. And Keaveney was picked off one pitch after Lamping threw a ball off of Kolajaychuk's helmet that allowed Keaveney to advance to third. So Lamping redeemed himself after the throwing error. Four-pitch walk to Swartz. Ames swings at the first pitch, but now Keaveney with two straight balls. Besides the pitch that Ames swung at, Garnet Chargers have not seen a strike here in the fifth inning. Keaveney finds one he likes and serves it into center field for his second hit of the day. Brings up Ryan Kolajaychuk, who has driven in runs in both of his plate appearances. Sacrifice fly to right field. That was swinging on the first pitch. And then a single for Ames in the third. His third look here at Alexander. The ball in quickly, and the bases are loaded for Condon. One out now. Back-to-back hits from Keaveney and Kolajaychuk, both on the first pitch. First pitch in there to Condon is a strike. Condon today ground out to first and a fly out to left field. Condon swings, fouled it off ever so slightly, down 0-2. So Alexander in the driver's seat here with the bases loaded. And a four-pitch walk to begin the inning. Condon into left field. Marshall's there, puts it away, but Swartz will score. Union scores their sixth run of the game. Ryan Moresi, who pinch ran for Martinez after a walk in the fourth, stayed in to play right. He'll get his first at-bat of the game. Moresi squares to bunt with two outs. It's a ball. Moresi down the left field line. Keaveney waved around third. He will score. Sliding into third is Kolajaychuk. Stand-up double easily for Moresi. An RBI double, and Union has scored twice now here in the fifth. (13-7) the score, actually. My apologies. The scoreboard here at Central Park is very quick with the balls and strikes, not as quick with the runs. Ben Raphael, 0 for 2, struck out swinging in his last time at bat. He takes a strike to begin the at-bat. Kolajaychuk leads off of third base with two down here. The 9-hole hitter and second baseman, Raphael, at the dish. That looked like a balk to me. Looked like a balk to Duke Beck, too. Alexander twisted his shoulders and then came over to third base. Pickoffs at third base from righties are wonky anyway. So this one hit the opposite way. That's down and going to get into the corner. Raphael turning around first and is coasting into second. 3 straight RBI base knocks for Union. The Garnet Chargers trail 13-9. 2-run score on the Raphael double. That turns it over for Caleb Miller with a runner in scoring position looking for his program record 121st RBI. He watches a first pitch strike. Four home here in the 5th for Union. This one hit hard down the line, but just foul. Good piece there from Miller, who has some family here in attendance. That one looked good off the bat, but just a little too early for Miller. We are over 2 hours into this game here in the bottom of the 5th. The 0-2 pitch is high. Miller, 1 for 2, a hit by pitch, 2 stolen bases. Scored the first run of the game for his squad. One-two, hit on the ground through the left side. Not being waved. Duke Beck had Raphael turning second, but held him up as the ball was fielded nicely by Marshall. Runners will be at the corners now. And it looks like the day may be done for Daniel Alexander. Waiting for the final move, but yeah, there's a new arm running in from the right field bullpen. We'll take a break as Alexander leaves the game in his longest outing since March. He leaves with a runner on scoring on first and third. Both of them are his responsibility. Union trails by 4. The new arm for Mount St. Mary here in the fifth is number 25, Kyle Fives. He comes in with a 10.80 ERA. He's one of 10 pitchers for Mount St. Mary with an ERA in the double digits. Kyle Fives, 10 appearances. He's 0-3. He started 2 games, pitched a total of 15 innings. Strikes out a lot of batters, 14 Ks in his 15 innings of work. After 2 pickoff moves at first base, make it 3. There's 2 outs here, and there's a runner on third. It makes Caleb Miller stealing a little interesting if he doesn't get as good of a jump and Mount St. Mary thinks they can throw him out. Here's finally a delivery to Kelly, and the breaking ball loops in there for a strike. But the MO on Miller is that he's clearly going to try to steal a base. He's stolen second base the 2 times he's reached today. The second base is open, and Raphael at third base adds another dynamic. There goes Miller. Ball is in the dirt, and that's 3 stolen bases for Miller now. Lamping had no shot of throwing out Miller on that one. Miller stolen 18 bases. We're going to have to see the last time that he has stolen 3 bases in a game. And he's got 3 stolen bases here in the 5th inning. And despite the fact that 22 runs have been scored, this game's not going to be over anytime soon, I believe. Three and 1 here. Fives has walked 13 batters on the season. He's also hit 6 batters. But the count goes full here on Will Kelly. Lots gone on here in Kelly's at bat. This is still the only batter that Fives has faced today. That's 3-2, 2 outs. Kelly fouls it off, stays alive. First base is open, but obviously a dangerous hitter in Dylan Swartz stands on deck. And Fives has 2 strikes here on Kelly. 3-2, 2 outs. Foul away again. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up here to Kelly. Kelly's already walked today. Then he's grounded out to short and flied out to center. Kelly chases that one out of the zone, and Fives gets out of the inning. But Union does score 4 runs. The Garnet Chargers trail 13-9, headed to the top of the 6th. Sixth inning of action here in Schenectady, and I do not use that term action lightly. 13-9 the score through 5 innings of play. Mount St. Mary has scored in every inning but the 5th. Union has put 4 runs up in 2 different innings, most recently the 5th. Ethan White's the new pitcher for the Garnet Chargers. Two straight balls to open the at-bat against Anderson. White's pitching to a 4.0 ERA. He's 1-1 on the year in 9 appearances. 4 strikeouts in 9 innings of work. The 2-0 here to Anderson. Just inside. Anderson, 2 for 2. Sacrifice fly, an RBI walk, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. And he gets a 4-pitch walk here to lead off the 6th inning. Aiden Marshall steps in. Leadoff walk or hit by pitch for the 3rd straight inning for Union on the mound. Mount St. Mary has been hit by a pitch and walked twice to lead off the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. I've unassisted on the fielder's choice off the bat of Parisa, but still, a runner at second base doesn't score in the 5th inning. There's the first strike of the outing for Whites. White's making his 10th appearance of the season on the mound. Hasn't pitched since April 17th against Bard, where he went an inning and 1/3. 3-1. We'll have to wait for a second as Ryan Parker, assistant coach for the Garnet Chargers, will run out to the mound. Usually when the coaches head out to the mound, you see them take a very leisurely stroll. But Parker, maybe because he's looking at his watch, and we've been playing baseball for 2 hours and 16 minutes, doesn't want to waste any time. So, yeah, he jogs in and out of the mound here. I love the hustle from Coach Parker. Checked on the runner at first base. Anderson's not going anywhere. Anderson, 2 stolen bases in 3 attempts. Mount St. Mary has stolen 33 bases on the season. Fouled off by Marshall. That'll work the count full. Union, by comparison, has stolen 41 bases. However, Union has run into outs on the bases by stolen base 11 times, 13 times. Entering today. Of course, there's 3 stolen bases for Miller today that are not accounted for. So that ball gets away from Ames, but it's ball 4 anyway. So just 90 feet for everybody. 2 straight walks to begin the inning. Seventh walk of the game from Union's pitching staff. Whites delivers. Gets that one past Morgan, who was swinging at the first pitch. Morgan unleashed for his 8th homer of the year in the first, a 2-run shot that scored Aiden Marshall. Since then, 3 more home runs for the Knights. However, none since the 3rd inning. Morgan gets the bunt down. Ames picks it up, throws to first in time. Sacrifice bunt is successful. Nice bunt by Morgan. Puts Marshall and Anderson into scoring position. Second sacrifice bunt of the game. First one was from Justin Stella. Stephen Volk now into the batter's box. Whelan got him out for the first time today in the 4th inning. Got him to fly out to center. 3 hits previously. Miller going back on this one. That one lands over his head. It's going to be the 4th extra base hit of the game for Voigt. And 2 runs will score as well. Volk swinging at the first pitch. Scores Marshall and Anderson. 15-9 the score now. Volk is having himself a day. Volk is going to tell his kids one day, hey, one time I went 4 for 5 with 4 extra base hits at Buck Ewing A Diamond in Schenectady, New York on a Monday night in late April. Three doubles and a home run. 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored. That is something. Checked on Volk over there at second base. Harrison hit by a pitch. Seven walks in the game. Fourth hit by pitch. Head coach John Muller is going to take the ball from Whites. We'll find out who the new arm is when we return here in Schenectady with Mount St. Mary leading the Garnet Chargers 15-9. Matthew Leonardo into the game for Union. His second appearance on the season. Coming out of the bullpen for the first time since pitching against Suni Oneonta early on in the season. First pitch to Lamping, single into center field. Volk comes around to score the 16th run of the game. So Volk now, of the 16 runs, he's accounted for 7 of them. 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs for Volk in a 16-9 game. We're in the top of the 6th inning here in Schenectady. Anthony Voss now will bat against Leonardo, the lefty. Breaking ball in there for strike. Leonardo from Alexandria, Virginia. As I mentioned, from Washington, I lived in Washington, D.C. the last few years, and Alexandria, beautiful old town. Didn't visit too often, despite being geographically very close to where I lived in Upper Chevy Chase, Washington, D.C. It's just the traffic to get there took forever. I did ride my bike a few times, about a 10-mile bike ride. From the top of Connecticut Avenue down to Alexandria, really nice bike ride. Bunt attempt, pulled back from Voss, 2-1. And then you could also take public transportation, of course. The metro in DC is lovely, really well laid out. Still, it was a pretty hefty train ride to get down there. I've definitely had my fun living in our nation's capital, however. 2-1 the count to Voss after a brief mound discussion from Cooper Ames and the new left-handed pitcher for Union. Leonardo is the 7th pitcher into the game here. It's the top of the 6th. Voss lifts this one deep into left center. Long run to get to it by Kelly, but he gets the out for the second batter retired in the inning. Lineup flips up to Justin Stella, who's having his 6th turn at bat today here in the 6th inning. First pitch breaking ball, misses the zone. Stella, 2 for 4 now. 2 strikeouts, also a sacrifice bunt in the 4th. Scored the first run of the game 25 runs ago. Lays off the pitch, 2-0. Another pitch in the dirt. Works the count full. No way. Well, there is somewhere to put him, but it would move the runners up 90 feet. The 3-0 outside. Bases are loaded. Stepping into the batter's box, still searching for his first hit, is Chris Parisa. He has walked twice, but hitless, despite 17 hits for his teammates. So Parisa really trying to get into the hit parade here. He'll have a chance to do it with the bases loaded and 2 outs against the new Union arm, the 7th pitcher out of the bullpen, Matt Leonardo. First pitch of ball to Parisa. Ball in the dirt. Run's going to come in to score. So bases are no longer loaded. 17-9. Getting across with a strike there is Leonardo. Four runs scored here, Mount St. Mary in the 6th. Breaking ball misses low. 3-1. After the first pitch, single to Lamping. Most of the pitches Leonardo have thrown since has been the breaking ball. This one is hit up the middle. Sliding stop to hold Stella at second base was Raphael, but a run still scores as Lamping comes home. 18-9. So that's a big play there. Seems small, but Raphael had to cover a ton of ground. When that ball was first hit, I did not think that Raphael had any chance of getting to it. And I was sure that Mount St. Mary was going to go up by 2. Raphael keeps this just a 9-run deficit for Union. As Anderson digs in here, is ahead 1-0. Cuts through that pitch. Evens it up, 1-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Ball in the dirt. Thrown down to first base. Good play by Keaveney to pick it out of the dirt on the throw by Ames. He gets the strikeout there on Anderson to retire the side, but not before 5 runs are scored by Mount St. Mary in the 6th. Union coming to bat, trailing by 9. Cooper Ames, 2 for 3 on the day. Double and a single, 2 RBIs. Evens the count with the foul ball. Andrew Keaveney on deck for Union. 2-2 count on Cooper Ames. 2 lefties on to face the left-handed pitcher in 5s. Count is full, 3-2. Ames waits on that one and sends it into the left center field. It gets down. It's going to be the second double of the game for Ames. He's going to try for third, and he is in with a triple. Ball gets away, almost a Little League home run. So a home run away from the cycle now is Cooper Ames. So Keaveney finds himself batting with a runner in scoring position. Union needs to keep this one within 10 runs. It's currently 9 in order to prevent the run rule from going into effect next half inning. Good place to start here is start tacking away at that lead. Union did trail by 4 after the 5th inning. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th, made it 13-9. But then a 5 spot. Fouled away. Mount St. Mary has scored a different amount of runs in every half inning. They scored 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs, 5 runs, and 7 and 0. So they're missing a 4-run inning and a 6-run inning. Then they will have scored 0 through 7. Wonder if that's ever happened. Breaking ball in there for a strike, and Keaveney goes down looking for the second out of the frame. That is the first, just the second strikeout of the game for Union. Ryan Kolajaychuk, productive at bats so far in all 3 trips to the plate. 2 for 2, 2 RBIs, 2 singles, and 1 run scored. Takes a first pitch ball from 5s. Kyle Fives, first year from Ballston Spa, New York, so another local kid. I can pronounce that one. Found out last game, Norfolk, Massachusetts. Didn't know that.
Did not know that.
And then they also have Norfolk. Norfolk. In Virginia. Kolajaychuk down 1-2. Watches that one go low, even the count 2-2 with 2 outs. Ames standing on third after hitting his second extra base hit of the game. Doubled in 2 runs in the first, also scored. Singled and scored in the third. Popped out to second base and has tripled. Kolajaychuk fists this one the opposite way. It lands. Ames going to come home to score. And Kolajaychuk has his 3rd hit of the day and 3rd RBI of the day. Ames has his third run of the day. Brings up Seamus Condon. First pitch ball to Condon. Fives has given up runs now in 5 straight outings. He does have a save on the year. He got a save against Johnson and Wales. Begin the season in February. 2 straight balls to start the at-bat here against Kolajechuk. Condon, not Kolajechuk. My apologies. Condon swings, sends this one into left field. Marshall's there to put it away. Union is retired. But the Garnet Chargers do score 1 after the triple from Ames. Garnet Chargers trail by 8. 18-10 headed to the 7th inning. Micah Bennett on to pitch for Union here in the top of the 7th inning. He's pitching with his team trailing by 8. Needs to hold on, keep Union just down by 8 or 9. If Union's down by 10 after this inning, the game will be over. Micah Bennett pitching in his 6th game. He's only pitched a total of 2 innings, however. He's struck out 2 batters in those 2 innings. First pitch offered at by Marshall. And 1 pitch, 1 out. Not counting sacrifice bunts, that is only the 3rd ground out of the game for the Knights. Let me pull up live stats here. 'Cause I actually think that's kind of quite a stat. Yes, there's... All right, I'm missing one ground out. That is the 4th ground out of the game, not including sacrifice bunts. In 33 at-bats. Plus 9 walks and however hit by pitches. Micah Bennett gets one across here on Volk. Morgan has been hit by 3 pitches today. Stephen Volk has 4 extra base hits, 3 doubles and a home run. Volk powers this one foul. Been a good couple of days for Mount St. Mary. They beat St. Joseph's of Brooklyn 19-4 on Friday. As Micah Bennett gets Volk down looking. And so a guy who's hit 4 extra base hits doesn't swing the bat. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. Nice little outing so far here by Bennett. Got Marshall the ground out to start the inning. Morgan hit by a pitch. And then Volk down looking. Here's Gregory Harrison. Harrison hits one up the middle. It gets through. Richard Lamping digs in for the 6th time today. 2 singles, also pop shortstop. Told me how to pronounce Norfolk, Massachusetts. She comes to some of the games and keeps score, sitting here with me behind home plate. Always appreciate someone who likes to keep score at a baseball game for sure. It's one of my favorite hobbies when I'm not doing it for my job, which is what I'm currently doing right now. Lamping is ahead 3-0. And he walks. Bases are loaded. Mount St. Mary has batted around in 2 innings today. They batted around in the first, sent 13 batters to the dish, and then sent 10 batters to the dish in the 6th inning. My scorecard only holds 11 innings, so almost at capacity here. 18-10 as the bases are loaded. Anthony Voss. Has a single in 5 plate appearances, 4 at-bats. He's walked as well. Cut on and missed, down 0-2. Bennett could become the first Garnet Charger arm to strike out multiple nights in an inning today. The 0-2. Got him swinging. Bennett strands the bases loaded. Union coming to bat in the bottom of the 7th. trailing by 8. 7th inning stretch time here. Almost 3 hours in. Let's go. Ryan Moresi will get his second at-bat of the game. He doubled home run last inning. He lays down a bunt. Fives fields it, and big collision at first base. Moresi does seem to be friendly with Morgan at first. Athletic trainer Cheryl Rockwood comes out of the dugout, but looks like she's going back in. On the 2-3 putout. So Moresi tried to steal one there with a bunt, but instead it's quickly one away for Benjamin Raphael batting. Raphael also has a double today, brought home 2 runs. Other than that, a line out to center field and a strikeout. May have to wait a little bit for this at bat as they're still checking on Morgan. And Cheryl Rockwood has come out, the athletic trainer here. Cheryl is in her 39th year with Union College in the athletic training staff. She joined as an assistant athletic trainer in 1987 and was promoted to head athletic trainer a year later in 1988. She's been doing it ever since. A nice friend and coworker is Rockwood, and legendary career. 39 years doing what she loves. A staple in the Union College community. All right, so after Cheryl Rockwood finishes looking at Caleb Morgan, who seems to be staying in the game, we'll have Benjamin Raphael to hit for the 4th time tonight. Not a 4-pitch walk to Raphael. There's a strike in there, but Raphael turns the lineup card over for Miller. And Nico Lambros is going to run for Ben Raphael. I nominated Nico Lambros for the player of the week today. And so that's not an end of the bench substitution there. As Lambros comes in. Lambros batted .571 last week for Union. Caleb Miller fouls it away. Here we go. Ready for the Miller train? Caleb Miller has the 5th most hits all time. The most runs. Tied for the most runs batted in. The most total bases. 2nd most home runs. Tied for the 5th most triples. Tied for the 4th most doubles. He hits it on the ground. Fielded and out at first from Parisa. Brings up Will Kelly. Let's finish this Caleb Miller look. Caleb Miller has the 2nd most walks all time. He has moved into the 4th most stolen bases and has the most at-bats and is tied for the 5th most games played. His 23 stolen bases this year, or last year, are the 4th most. Just an amazing career for him. Ball hit on the ground by Kelly. Fielded by Parisa. Thrown on at first and out. So Union goes down after a walk by Lambros. And coming up to bat here in the 8th. Up by 8. Mount St. Mary. Seventh plate appearance of the game coming up here for Justin Stella. He takes the first pitch strike from Micah Bennett, who was out to work the 8th inning. After working into some trouble in the 7th, bases were loaded, but he strikes out 2 to get out of the jam and prevent Mount St. Mary from scoring a run for only the 2nd time today. Two and one. Fouled off. Union has stolen 4 bases. 3 of them are from Caleb Miller. Ryan Moresi with the other one. Bennett gets his 3rd strikeout of the game and gets Stella. Stella now has struck out 3 times tonight. Struck out in the 3rd and the 5th. Here's Parisa. Parisa became the final Knight to get a hit tonight. He got it in the 6th inning, an RBI single. "19 hits tonight for Mount St. Mary. Chopped on the ground. Charging play. Swartz throws on to first. 2 away. Including ground outs. The 7th ground out of the game. Swinging strike on Anderson. One.
No.
8 of the 9 batters tonight for Mount St. Mary have reached base 3 or more times. Anthony Voss, the shortstop in the 9-hole, has sadly only reached base twice. Charging play. And the 2 first years run into each other. It's a do-or-die play, so it's going to go down as a hit, but one of the more interesting hits I've seen. Now, let's say that was a routine play, which it wasn't. But let's say that was a routine play and the pitcher runs into Condon. That would be an error on the pitcher for running into his teammate and turning a routine play into a missed out. If that makes sense. If the pitcher causes his teammate to mechanically misplay the ball, then it can be an error on the teammate who ran into his other teammate. Think of it more on a fly ball into no man's land. If the right fielder's coming in on it, second baseman's going out, right fielder is camped under it, but the second baseman runs into the outfielder, and the outfielder misplays the ball because of the collision, the error would be on the second baseman. But as I'm pandering, talking about scoring, for the second straight inning, Bennett gets 2 strikeouts. So that's his 4th strikeout of the game. And Union coming to bat in the bottom of the 8th, trailing by 8. Kyle Fives still out there to work for the Knights. This is his 4th inning of work now. Just the 2nd pitcher for Mount St. Mary compared to the 8 for Union. Fouled away by Swartz. Alexander, the starter, went 4 2/3 innings. He gave up 11 hits, only struck out 1, walked 3, 4 doubles, a hit by pitch, and 9 total runs. This one's laced into left field, and it's another double for Dylan Swartz. Swartz's 2nd double of the game. And that is the first double of the game that Fives has given up. Fives pitching 2 1/3 innings so far. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. Cooper Ames, a home run away from the cycle. This game is 3 hours and 10 minutes old. My buddy Shamir here sitting with me working the scoreboard for the broadcast today. He gets paid hourly, so he's not complaining. He said he'll go all night. He wants to play 2 today. 2 games. That's a little bit too far, said Shamir. One, 2 count to Cooper Ames. Fouls it back. We go and check longest games played this year by Union. I'd have to guess it was that 19-11 game against SUNY Purchase. That one took 3 hours and 27 minutes. Union scored 13 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning in that game. Union also had 3 triples in that game. Will Kelly, Dylan Swartz, and Cooper Ames. 10 extra base hits. Tonight, Union has 6 extra base hits. Mount St. Mary has 8. 4 doubles, 4 homers. And it's a walk for Cooper Ames. Bring Andrew Keaveney. Keaveney, 2 for 4. 2 singles, strikeout. 1 run scored. Trying to figure out how many have been retired. 2-0. Lamping's going to go out and talk to Fives here. "18 runs on 20 hits for Mount St. Mary, 10 runs on 14 hits for Union. 1 Mount St. Mary error. Didn't end up being costly. No unearned runs scored on it. The Union dugout, the players are running the scoreboard that shows here at Buck Ewing A Diamond, so it's not official with the hits and errors. I'm the official scorer. They have 1 less hit for Mount St. Mary, and they have an error on Union. I'm guessing that was the Josiah Martinez play in right field off of Volk. They ruled that a double or an error, while it was actually a double. It was not a routine play with Martinez back on the warning track and running into the wall. Not really much routine about that. Keaveney lines it to right field, almost eats up Anderson. And Union has the bases loaded with nobody out. Ryan Kolajaychuk bats now. It's the third hit of the day for Keaveney. Keaveney offers at the first pitch, fouled back. Swung on and missed. Ball. My silence there was me counting up how many first pitch of an at-bat were hit into play between the both teams. And there have been 22 first pitches that have been swung on and put into play in this game today. That one swung on and not put in play by Kolajaychuk as Fives strikes him out. Third strikeout of the day for Fives. We have a pinch hitter now. It's Michael Dell. Dell goes into the 7th spot for Condon, and I believe that he's going to have a defensive replacement after that, based on the fact that Dell usually plays the outfield. First pitch ball to Dell. I applauded Dell for working a pair of walks against Skidmore this weekend. He entered the weekend without a walk. And for the season, he's batting .436 as he swings through that one. He has 17 hits in 39 at-bats. Now he's walked 3 times total, just 6 strikeouts. He's driven in 7 runs and has 8 runs himself. He lifts this one into right field. Anderson has a beat on it, and Swartz was not tagging up. It was hit shallow. Now there are 2 outs. Moresi will get a third shot tonight. So Dell flies out with the bases loaded. There are now 2 away. 2 straight outs recorded by Fives as Ryan Moresi, 1 for 2 on the day, is up. He doubled in the 5th and tried to bunt for a hit in the 7th. Moresi swings through that one. Moresi on the season, 16 at-bats before today, just 2 hits. has stolen 3 bases. Stole his 4th of the year today. And a nice RBI double as well for Moresi. His 3rd RBI of the year. Later came around to score his 2nd run of the year. 0-2. Moresi swings through it. And the Knights strand the bases loaded and will bat in the 9th, leading 18-10. Micah Bennett back on to work, top of the 9th. Caleb Morgan still in there batting for the Knights, as he is almost hit by a 4th pitch. error on Nico Lambros. And Caden Fisher didn't have his jersey on. He's called in to hit a run here. He's still putting his jersey on right now because he stands on first base. He's lucky that the head coach, Trevor Purcell, didn't choose a different runner. As Volk sends this one down the. So Volk down 0-1. Micah Bennett is the 8th pitcher tonight for Union. And he's pitched well as of late. 4 strikeouts on the day so far. And that one slips out of his hand. A wild pitch will allow Fisher to get into scoring position. Some other defensive changes. Brandon McCormick came in to run for Danny Talachi. I apologize, I missed the pinch runner in the bottom of the 8th inning. Talachi pinch ran for Keaveney. And as I suspected, Michael Dell does not stay in the game as a third baseman. Evan Legman will be the new third baseman here in the 9th. So there has been quite a few hit by pitches today, and that one got behind Volk. And someone's running out to the third base coach to hand him something. And then whatever was handed to the third base coach was handed to Fisher at first. Volk, not happy that he was thrown behind. It was an accident. I mean, Micah Bennett is the 8th pitcher into the game this year for Union. And him and Morgan have both been frustrated about the hit by pitches. But, I mean, you just have to look at the... And Volk is walked there. Gregory Harrison is batting now with no outs here in the 9th inning. Harrison, a home run, a single, a hit by pitch, another single, and a walk. He is 3 for 4, has reached base 5 times. As we noted, every batter today, except for Anthony Voss, has reached base 3 or more times. Cooper Ames is out to give the signs, and the home plate umpire signals that's the 4th called timeout or mound visit by Union. Oh and 1 here on Harrison. Ball in there for a strike. Caleb Miller still out there in center field. Will Kelly in left. Talachi in right. Ball's hit on the ground, foul. Bennett searching for his 3rd strikeout of the game. Or excuse me, 5th strikeout of the game. As there are runners on 1st and 3rd, no outs. 18-10. Ball skied, out of play. Oh, no, it's not. was in play, but Nico Lambros and Brendan McCormick were unable to track it down. So the count remains 0-2. Harrison has not struck out today. Homered in his first at bat. It was the second home run of the inning in that first inning, that wild first inning, where Mount St. Mary scored 7 runs. Ball hit on the ground again. 0-2. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Sixth pitch of the at-bat is high for a ball. Hit on the ground the opposite way through the right side. A run will score. And Fisher scores. An unearned run. RBI for Harrison. Richard Lamping set to bat again. No outs here. Ball inside. Another ball inside.
Do we have a record book? This is the most pitches thrown in a game ever.
I don't know.
It's got to be
I mean, there's
600 pitches.
probably one. Yeah, there's probably there is record books. I don't know if that when they kept. I've seen some pretty long baseball games in my years.
Yeah.
There's been some pretty long.
3-0.
But yeah, it's
Union pitchers today. I get a total pitch.
was that with the Braves or the Cardinals? That's what I thought. I'm a Cardinal fan.
Ball's called a strike.
Like 75. I was like 6 or 8 years old. And I remember we started in the second deck and we ended up, down.
And there's a walk, so force the bases loaded with no outs here in the 9th. Anthony Voss, the 9-hole hitter, coming to bat, looking to become the 9th hitter today for the Knights to reach base 3 times. He's only reached base twice. Hit by pitch for Voss, and he is he's on base for the 3rd time today. Volk comes home to score for the 4th time. It's an RBI for Voss, his first RBI of the game. He scored in the 4th. Hit on the ground. Flip at second. Not in time, but the out at second is clean. Stella in his 8th trip to the plate grounds into a fielder's choice and gets an RBI. Unearned run and an RBI, as that should have been the third out of the inning. So the rest of the way here for Union, unearned runs. (21-10) the score. For a second, it seemed like Union may be in this one. 13-9 was the score after the 5th inning. Union had held the Knights scoreless in the top of the 5th and then scored 4 runs. But then the Knights came back with 5 runs in the top of the 6th. Parisa batting. He's walked twice. A single and an RBI. Ground out, fly out, fielder's choice, ground out. 2-2 the count. Union still gets a chance to bat here in the bottom half of the inning. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for Union. Six hit by pitches today for Mount St. Mary, and Caleb Morgan has been hit by 3 of them. He hit his 8th homer of the game, of the year 3.5 hours ago. And head coach Trevor Purcell has not subbed much. Caden Fisher pinch ran this inning. This one served into left field, down for an extra base hit. Parisa chucking into second. He's going to be safe. We're going to have a pitching change here. Tyler Hill pitching here against Noah Anderson. And he gets Anderson to strike out swinging. Union coming up in the bottom of the ninth. Nico Lambros takes the first pitch ball. And the second pitch ball from Kyle Fives. Union trails 22-10. And after that 4-run ninth inning, Mount St. Mary has scored 1 run in an inning, 2 runs in an inning, 3 runs in an inning, 4 runs, and 5 runs. All in different innings. Ball's popped up and caught by the third baseman, Harrison. It's the second putout of the day by Harrison. Don't remember him having another putout. Here's another putout, or assist actually, for Harrison. Gets Miller to ground out 5-3. Curtis Couliard will bat here. It's Union's last hope, trailing 22-10. Fouls it off. Curtis looking for his first hit of the season in 4 at-bats. This is the 7th game that he has played in. Down to their final strike is Union. After 3 hours and 46 minutes and 32 runs on the board. All comes down to this. Kyle Fives delivers, fouled away. Couliard does not want to go home yet. Union is going to play Vermont State Castleton coming up in a few days, and then it's St. Lawrence coming up as Couliard strikes out swinging. That's the final out. Mount St. Mary wins 22-10. I've said everything I can say about this game. Thanks for sticking around with me. Hope you enjoyed yourself. We'll see you on Friday for the crossover series between Union and St. Lawrence at 4 p.m. See you then. Go Bills.